Hello, this is Kylie Koo. Welcome to my studio, and welcome to week 34 of creating a positivity deck. And the prompt for this week is passion. For me, living a creative life is living a life that's filled with passion, because I have a passion for my creativity. But my card took me in a direction that perhaps I didn't quite expect this week. There were two things, I suppose, that came out of it. And as I was creating and later journaling, my mind was taken back to two previous cards. One was about balance and the other was about connection. And that theme seemed to go through this card today, or I should say those themes of balance and connection. So in a sense, I did as last week, and I took a wander through my supplies, and I actually pulled out a number of things which I ended up not using. But one thing that jumped out to me was this piece of drop paper, simply a piece that I had used excess paint from stencils on. And I decided I would glue this to my card and this would form the base. And in a sense, this is where I had started to think about connection. Because I started to think about passion and creativity and feeling that that passion for my art runs through every cell in my body. It's in the molecules and the atoms that make up the cells. And in a sense, I started to think about it running through my DNA. Often I just feel like creativity is oozing from me. It's there, it has to be expressed, it's a part of me, and that is the passion that I have for it. Now, the other thing that started to come to the fore for me was more the thing about balance. And I picked out a stamp. To me, this just kind of said balance to me, because I started to think about passion in the terms of kind of yin and yang, that notion of balance. Because I think quite often when people think of passion, they think of it as something that's kind of loud, it's red hot. And of course, passion can be expressed in many different ways. Not always in positive ways. It can be seen as a kind of negative thing. But you know, what I'm trying to do here is to keep it positive. And so for me, there's a kind of two sides to passion, both positive, one being more outward, a very public, perhaps demonstrable show of passion, but the other, again thinking about that kind of yin and yang, is more about the kind of quiet side of passion. And I see this in people all the time. There are those who are more outward, extrovert in a sense, and there are artists who are extrovert in terms of what they do. But on the other hand, there's those with passion who are more introverted. It's quieter. Not one is right, not one is wrong. But today I would invite you to think about the passion that you have for your creativity. And it doesn't matter whether you express it in an outward way or it's very much just something that sits quietly within you. So for me, there was a very strong message came from my card today, and that was about looking beyond the obvious. And this only came out when I was journaling at the end. It was very much about not making assumptions about things. It was about keeping an open mind. And to me, that is very much about passion. Passion is often taken as somebody having a very strong view or belief about something. And, it's not for me to say that that's not passion. It is. It's just one form of it. But for me, passion is also about being open-minded. And I had ended my journaling by saying, see it, hear it, feel it. And I think that kind of sums up passion for me. And it's very much about my art, because for me, art runs through everything. So after stamping, I just took some pens and I went round the outline of the stamp. And here I was almost creating a DNA string. I don't know what DNA actually looks like. I've seen images of it before, but it was just that notion of connection and that notion of creativity being in everything, and that passion that's related to the creativity being in everything about me, in every cell and through my DNA. And so I was just trying to represent that on here. And I suppose too, looking back, it's part of my DNA that actually led to that conclusion of being open-minded, about seeing it, about hearing it, and about feeling it. So I'd be interested to hear your views on it, what you think about passion and creativity. What does it bring up for you? And there's no right and there's no wrong. This is just my interpretation of it. And when I look at this card in future, that's what I want to remember. And my notes will remind me that passion is about balance. It can be seen, heard, felt in different ways. And it's about connection. Everything that's within me and without. Connection to others. The passion that I have for making my positivity deck and for connecting with others. I had looked out paints today, but in the end I didn't use them. I just simply kept adding with my pens. So I'm going to leave you just for a few moments now while I finish off the card, and I'll just put a little bit of music to this. So as always, when I sat down to create my card, I didn't have any expectations of how it would look at the end. And, you know, in many ways, I'm actually surprised by how it turned out. Although I didn't have an image in my mind, I guess for a prompt such as passion, it might have turned out differently. But how it did turn out tells me a lot. There's so much in this, and it didn't take me long to pull together, but it's a card that's got a big, strong message for me, an important message. So it was a quick one this week, but nevertheless I do hope that you've enjoyed the video and my thoughts about the prompt passion. As always, I would say these are just my views, just there as food for thought. You will have your own views, and they are as every bit important as anything I can possibly say here. So once more, thank you for joining me. Again, thanks to everyone who leaves kind comments, and I very much appreciate that. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you'll join me again next week. Bye for now.